Nika, why don't you start with intro and tell us who you are and what the startup you're working on and how you think about staying in Massachusetts now from a startup standpoint. Would you be comfortable doing that? Yeah, we hide the mute button.
Can you hear me now?
We can hear you now, Nico. Go ahead.
Perfect. Yeah, so for general intros, I'm Nico. I'm a recent MIT alumni. The current startup I'm working on in AI is about AI for web accessibility. So just automating fixing websites for people living with disabilities for e-commerce storefronts. I also volunteer with an organization called the AI Furnace, which is the main reason I'm also here helping the initiative. We organize networking events. I lead the Boston chapter, and we try to do one event a month to try to connect AI founders, researchers, and operators. Also doing demo days to showcase local talent, happy hours, dinners and discussions. Our next big event is June 26th, where we're co-hosting with Techstars Boston and Oric Law Office to try to get a soiree to help just foster discussion in the community. How have you, Massachusetts? This is the only place I've lived in the US. I came here to study at MIT. So really like the environment, the people, the connections. So I want to do what I can to try to help really foster the community here because I've already met so many amazing people, learned so much, and I think we put it all together and really like the reason I joined the AI Furnace as a volunteer organization was because they're trying to bring the resources of Silicon Valley and the community and connections to other cities like Boston. So
That's great.
That's why I'm here to help.
So you came from outside the United States, you went to MIT, you're working on a startup. Share with the group, did you know you were always going to stay in Boston, or did you think about going to other places?
I've mostly, as I said, this is the only real place I've lived and been in the US. Obviously, there's been the lots of friends moved to Silicon Valley in the startup world, and had a couple of friends move to New York. So that's always been kind of on the mind, and people asking me why aren't you moving? But I've always intended to stay here, so I've been trying to just build up what I can here as well.
Great, thank you. Let's do a few more introductions. I saw Sarah. Are you online? Did I see you?
Oh. Here I am. Yes. Hi. Sorry. So I am off today from work, and I'm not prepared to be on video. So I'm sorry about that. But yeah, hi, Sarah Frame. I'm the CEO of the Mass Tech Leadership Council. We're an industry association here in Massachusetts whose goal is to help companies grow here and help the tech sector at large grow here. So very excited, been working with Paul on a couple different efforts. So thank you.
Great, thanks for joining, Sarah. Let's do a few more intros. Doug Williams, you want to say hello? Tell them what the MIT Trust Center is.
Yes, so I'm Doug Williams. I'm at the Martin Trust Center for MIT Entrepreneurship. It's across campus from the Stata Center, where John Werner's hosting the CSAIL AI event. We're a center for entrepreneurship education, basically preparing our very well-educated alumni like Nico with the tools we have on how to increase startup success. And we're beginning to take our online tools and make them available beyond MIT with the idea that there's 589 million entrepreneurs in the world. We're helping the 11,000 students here at MIT. You can find me on LinkedIn, Doug Williams, MIT Trust Center, if you're interested in the pilot. And we're going to begin building a community. We have 6,000 here at MIT. We're going to begin building it outside MIT. So interested in getting you all as early pilot adopters. I'm from Chicago. I love Boston. Like Nico, I've been here longer than him, but I am a big fan of Boston. So anything we can do to keep talent here and bring talent here, let's do it. So thank you, Paul.
No, great. Thanks, Doug. And last, any other AI startups online that want to share and say hello? Yeah, go ahead. I see someone raising their hand. Go ahead, Kara.
And Doug, I'm going to reach out. So my name's Cara Peterson. Hi, I'm from Describe.ai. We're a legal research startup here in Boston. We did the last John Werner event, but we're sitting this one out. I am really interested in the AI ecosystem in Massachusetts, and in particular ethically based and socially conscious uses for AI. So really happy to see everyone on the call. Happy Friday.
Thank you for joining, Cara. Cara, can you share what's your number one frustration of things you need that you're not getting in the region or wish we had?
Okay, well, this is a little bit anecdotal, but we have some very high profile advisors, but they're from Silicon Valley. So it's really interesting. We have one of our advisors has ties to MIT Media Lab, but he's actually living out in California. So, and when we talk to our advisors out there, we have Megan Ma at Stanford, we have Dazza Greenwood from civics.com, and two of our other advisors who are coming on soon are not from the region. So what's actually interesting is even though we're here, we're finding more support and uptake from other regions. In terms of the media, in terms of the ecosystem, in terms of advisors, in terms of basically everything. So sorry about that, folks, but I do think that's part of one of the reasons why I'm here is because, and if anyone saw the video I posted from the AI generative AI meetup just the other night, I think Massachusetts could really lead in a lot of the sort of uses for AI that the society needs. So my question, I don't know if anyone from the state is here, but my hope and prayer for the money that's being allocated from the state is it won't just go to help grow individual wealth, but it will help, create some use cases that actually address some pretty big societal problems. Ours is access to justice. So I would say, if I have to say my number one problem is I don't think we have our shit together the way California and New York do, and we got to get on that, or we're going to keep losing people to other ecosystems.
And Cara, just being real again, we're really practical and tactical here.
Yeah.
What are those other regions doing that we need to do a better job? Is it that they have way more events? They certainly not cheaper to live in, so we can
God no
hear about all the time.
Yeah, so Silicon Valley is not going to beat us on housing prices, right? Although who knows, maybe soon. I was talking to someone last night at this event, a Startup Boston event, and they were talking about they were one of the accelerators who was there trying to get folks. I won't name names because but it's a prominent accelerator that you all know. And they said the problem they're having is they can get people for their accelerator programs, 3 months, whatever it is, but they can't keep them. So I do think this is something that can't be solved by industry alone. I think it has to be a combination of government, probably higher ed institutions. So it's great we have MIT here, and we know we have many great schools in the region, and then entrepreneurship. So we don't have a terribly good ecosystem for supporting startups. Like we have Mass Founders Network, but they're in Worcester, so they only have limited reach here. We have Startup Boston, but they're really new. And so I would say we don't have resources that are easy for entrepreneurs to navigate. We don't have centralized resources. We don't have events. Like in California, they put together something, and I don't remember who it was, but it was one of the institutes. It was probably someone at Stanford, and they had a joint big summit with the state, right, where they were talking about how they were going to build this up in California. So I think they're just ahead of us in terms of state-private partnerships on this stuff. Like we're starting, but I'm not seeing where we're actually getting together in any way. And maybe I just am not seeing it.
Yeah, great.
But I'm pretty checked into this stuff, and if I'm not seeing it, then I don't know how other entrepreneurs will.
Appreciate it. Let's go to James. You had your hand
Thanks.
up, and then we'll go back to Sarah. Go ahead, James. Real quick.
Hi.
Introduce yourself and what's the top need.
Sure. Hi there, James Lewis. I'm a co-founder of a company called skillsproject.ai based in Boston. This is my second or third HR tech startup. But our platform is a talent intelligence and hiring platform built for data science. And we've built it both for job seekers as well as for hiring teams to help build and optimize world-class data teams. And we're basing it off of skills-based hiring and real-world challenges. So what we found in the industry is that many job seekers were rejected from particular jobs, or when they actually had the skills, based on pedigree or based off of where they worked.
But
And
James,
we're trying to change that process.
But James, thanks for the overview. No, but specifically for the region, what's your top
Yeah.
thing that you would want this group to be aware of to start working on?
From being a startup in
Being
Boston.
a startup, yeah.
Yeah.
Or do you have all the support
Well,
you need? Maybe you have all the support you
No,
need.
no, we don't. I think that there's a lot of tools, and that, this is a great place to be for a startup. And it's just a matter of figuring out how to navigate, find the time to leverage all of the resources and tools in and around you. But organizations like this is a great place to start.
That's great. Thanks, James. Go ahead, Sarah, and then we'll kick off the agenda.
Sorry, I just wanted, I should say, we are not a state or a quasi organization. We are a private nonprofit, but I wanted to, if people didn't realize, and it's hard to know because they don't do a great job of it on the tech side, but the Mass Tech Collaborative does have a lot of resources. And when I say resources, I'm talking money, specifically money. They do have money for startups. They don't, again, do a great job advertising it. They try, but they just they have some connections. Secretary Yvonne Howe is the chair of the Mass Tech Collaborative now, so it's always the Secretary of Economic Development that leads that. So I urge everybody to take, yes, I will, Kara, I'll find you the link. They actually also have space that you can get for startups. It's not, a space, but they do have it within the city. So check them out.
That's great. Thank you, Sarah. So we're going to keep driving here. Our mission here is to keep our meetings within an hour and they keep growing agendas. So I'll be pushing hard, and I appreciate everyone's succinctness here. The mission of this.
Paul, this is Vikram. Would you like me to quickly introduce myself, or?
Please, go ahead, Vikram. Thank you.
Yeah, I won't take too much time. So great to meet everyone. I'm Vikram Maithar. I'm a partner at a private equity firm called Apollo. We are pretty sizable, 700 billion under management. My job, I co-lead AI strategy for Apollo, but more importantly, we have 50 portfolio companies, and my job is to drive value from AI across portfolio companies. And we own companies like Yahoo and Rackspace and Shutterfly, large companies like that. Been an AI entrepreneur before, and an MIT alum. And what really drove me to this, and I was talking to Paul about it, is I have a high schooler, and in the last 1 year, I cannot count how many calls I got from parents of high school students saying that, hey, I want to educate my kid on AI. Where do I go? And frankly, I did a lot of research and I didn't have good answers for them. And what drove me to this forum was that in Massachusetts, and I've been here 24 years, grateful to MIT for funding my education when I had no money. And what drove me here was, I think we need to teach our high school, our generation before college, like at high school level, on what AI is and how they can use AI to create tools. Because I believe that 20 years ago, if you read resumes of people would write they know how to use Microsoft Word and Excel and whatnot. Today, people are writing about AI. I think 10 years from now, people will not write their AI education, but what they invented using AI. So I'm very
Vikram, I just
keen.
want to interrupt. This is great. We got an agenda item later on for that. So for folks who are interested, Vikram's very interested in the K through 12, both student and education. I know there's 6 or 8 other people on this call as well. So let's hold on to that. Maybe you guys can get together and form a small group. So just ripping down the agenda. So this is a practical and tactical group. This is not a discussion group. This is not a philosophy group. We are supportive of the AI initiative. It's a $100 million thing, but that's a very large, mostly lobbying effort here. And we're shovels. So we pick up and do stuff, and it's fabulous, all the great stuff that's already been done here. I want to start ripping through some of the all the activities that everyone's been doing on in volunteer standpoint, and please give an update or two on one of them. Is any from Rory? Are you from the task force? I think they've. I know Ian Von Howe's at this MIT event coming up. Is anyone else from the task force on by chance?
Hey there, Paul. This is Ian Shannon from the.
Oh, Ian,
Executive-
thank you. Ian, can you share a quick update and introduce yourself and give a quick update on the task force, please?
Yeah, absolutely. Ian Shannon with the Executive Office of Economic Development, one of the staff members who is providing support to the Strategic AI Task Force. It's underway. Currently, we are in the process. The task force has recently formed a number of working groups that's going to be discussing a number of sort of cross-cutting themes. So things like upskilling and workforce training, legal and regulatory aspects, access to compute resources, as well as data exchange and access, sort of like data sharing topics. These different groups are going to be meeting. These are groups that are being led by members of the task force. They're going to be meeting over the next several weeks in the month of June. They're bringing together as many insights and recommendations as they can. They'll bring it back to the full task force. And then in the later months during the summer, the task force is going to be synthesizing a lot of the recommendations and the insights that have been coming in from these different work streams that they have formed over the past couple months, and then in June. And then they'll be delivering a set of final recommendations to the governor. So that's where we're at the moment. These groups are just kicking off like right now. These sort of cross-cutting horizontal, what we're calling them horizontal groups. They're just kicking off. Some of them have just been started to meet this week. So there's a lot of discussions to be had. Very exciting stuff. And yeah,
that's
thank you very much.
great status. Is there any ask you have of this group, or are we in waiting mode until the working groups come to us some recommendations?
Yeah, I mean, we're letting those groups play out in terms of having their discussions, but in general, I would say our office is always very interested in, we're always interested in learning. This one thing that I've learned about AI, besides how amazing and incredible the technology is also how fast things are moving within the ecosystem, within the different networks, both within Massachusetts as well as nationally or internationally. So we're always looking to learn. If there are any resources or new knowledge that you can share with us, definitely feel free to reach out. I've actually spoken to a couple of folks who are on this call before, and they've shared some interesting and helpful resources with us. So
that's great. Thank you so much. That's a great update. We've got 4 or 5 people that have stepped forward to build chatbots for the limited amount of content we have on the AI website, AI Blueprint already. Alex, are you in line? I want to give a quick minute update on yours and what feedback and help you need.
Yes, absolutely. Hi. So as promised, we have developed a pre-release version of chatbot, AI-powered chatbot by Google Gemini, and we have deployed it, and it's ready for testing. We're already getting some feedback, so I will post a link to the chatbot in the chat window. So please send us more feedback, and when testing is complete, it will be released and deployed to the website. So
thank you, Alex. Appreciate that. There is a link on the website today under resources for the beta version here. Sharma, are you on? Is Michael Hayes on? Are you on, Michael? Brendan, I think I saw you log in. Brendan, are you here?
I am. How are you?
You want to share what you built? And
I don't have it pulled up, but what we can do with this is I have what we did was we took the methodology that we've been using for the other LLMs that we've been building, and just applied it to the overall context with the Massachusetts content. We can take this context that we've gathered and move it over to any other platform. This was really hacked together in just an afternoon or so. But the underlying structure is both portable and useful. Happy to share that link with anyone. It's the context doesn't have everything in it, and we've spent less time on this than I would like, but happy to share what we've done.
That's great. Brendan, thank you. For people also need the link, it's if you go to the AI Blueprint MA website, it's under resources, and there's a link there on the top here. So thanks, everyone. We've talked a lot about connecting people on jobs. I was shocked to find out, a month or so ago, there was not an overall AI job fair for the region. So Judah, who's got caught up, he's working with one. There's scheduled one now for Heinz Convention Center for, I think it's October 29th. And that's a really important part. We're going to use speakers from AWS and OpenAI to draw talent in, and then sell tables to hiring firms for $3,000 and $10,000 here. Luke, are you on? A few people have developed websites listing all the different AI jobs. Luke is one of them. Joseph, I think you are on. You want to share what you've done in this area?
Yes, hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Can I share my screen or should I just talk about it?
Yeah, go ahead. Just talk about it and stick a link.
Okay, so we, over the last few weeks, we aggregated all the jobs in Massachusetts that have the word AI in the title. And the reason is that we want to make it easy for the job seeker to go into a company that's AI ready. So we put them on a website called aijobsma.com. I'll share the link in the chat. We also worked on the revised version 4 of the Massachusetts AI ecosystem map. I can also share that as well. We were looking at several resources which were missed in the previous versions, and some universities are now classifying some of their AI labs as AI centers of excellence. So we included them in the map. The one that Paul's sharing on his screen, that's the outdated version. We're now actually at version 4, which I'll share in the chats. And about the video, Paul, that I shared earlier to you, maybe...
Joseph, hold on that one. We get agenda item that, if you don't mind. You mind just
okay.
hold? That's great. I do want to highlight that. It's a great thing here. So anything on the other thing on jobs, it was interesting on Judah. Originally, we were going to try to do it in June. So we had a meetup group where about 200 to 300 people applied. We asked them for the LinkedIn, if they were actively seeker or not. 85% of them were passive job seekers at mid-level jobs. So these are more 3 to 8 year experience, software engineers, architects, product management, salespeople who wanted to get into AI, transfer their tech skills, which I thought was a really interesting angle here. So that's on the job search. We've made really good progress in a team on the event listing. Is Dan, are you online? You want to give a quick update? I know David's not available to make this. Dan, did I see you join? Maybe not. So for people who don't know, I'll just give an update here. We shockingly also did not have a centralized list of all the AI in-person AI events. We do now. So David, Luke, and Dan have been fabulously working hard on this, using Airtable and everything else. It's pretty current. You can go to the website. You can look at it. You can sort it by date or by listing. We've also got a few other people who are taking this and piping it over to their website. And you can easily add, click here an event, and it'll allow you to auto add it. Right now, we haven't been getting a lot of spam. This is something we've got to curate. People have done this before. You end up getting a lot of spam, or you get some vendor company who wants to put up a webinar every single week for the 52 weeks and calls that 52 events. But anyway, this is another small step. And if people are interested in promoting this, let everyone know, let the team know. They've been focusing right now on in-person events, which I think everyone agrees is the first walk before we stop, run activity. That is on the events. Luke has been working on, Luke, are you on? I don't think he was able to make it. Luke has really been energetic. He's doing a lot of different things. Yet another thing that we realized we didn't have as a region is a directory and a listing of all the colleges, their email address of their student clubs and their career centers, so we could easily communicate with them when important job search comes up or events and everything else. Those 150 plus colleges are one of the big strengths, obviously, of the region here. And Luke is starting to work on that. There's a draft on that, and if people are interested in that or can help out, please let him know. It's shockingly also a lot of colleges that I thought would have, a program or student group already in, even computer science don't. So I don't know how that communication's been going. It feels like yet another broken communication last mile in a region that we can help with. Sam Rowe, Sam, are you on? Sam has kicked off a nonprofit AI physical workspace in Cambridge. It's on the 7th floor of 1 Broadway, right a stone's throw from MIT. And it's got a unique name that I always keep forgetting. Does anyone remember the name? It's like Atheos.
Project Athos.
Project Athos, yeah. Do you have the link for it by chance, or do you want to share it?
I'll look and see if I can.
Yeah, if you could find it, Doug, that'd be great.
Yeah.
It is a wonderful space. 100 AI places can be in there. He's really working to have a culture where people are learning and learning from each other in a physical environment here. And it's right in Kendall Square. And it's another example of small things that we can do to really foster people to people space. Beth and Adam, you guys are working on playbooks. Adam, I saw you were on. Adam, you want a quick update on this one?
Yeah, absolutely. We've had some good progress moving forward. We'd really love to have some input from folks, but the whole idea is really to have a layout where people can have a resource. I don't know if people want to mute, but have a resource where they know where to go to in terms of any type of new venture development, anything where you are going to be thinking about locating an existing group that's AI focused, make sure it's located in Massachusetts, and of course, any type of talent to attract and retain here in Massachusetts. So we're starting to develop the presentation a bit. We've been leaning on Beautiful.ai for some assistance there. We thought that was fitting, and I've got a link in the notes. People should just jump in. Ideally, just add comments, but everyone should have that access.
That's great. That's great, Adam. And I know part of this came from one of the calls we had where one of the asks was an AI enthusiast at a company who wanted to convince her company to put the center of AI excellence in Boston versus other regions. And she wanted to give me 3 or 4 slides that have the key data to help make the case there. So I thought that was a very unique, important.
We've got that.
We can help with.
Yeah, absolutely. And maybe we'll even carve that part out.
Yeah.
The separate module of the presentation.
That's great. Javed, are you on? Did I see you log in? So Javed.
Hey, Paul, I'm on. Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead, Javed. Why don't you share a little bit your opportunity you see in K through 12 and maybe others who are involved in that can also start raising their hand and see if we get that team more organized.
Absolutely. So yeah, I connected with a couple of people who are on this call. Hi, Amanda. Hey, Dave. Yeah, I think there's certainly an opportunity. I haven't made too much progress on building it out for the elementary school and the middle school, which is what I originally thought. But I have built out a collab which allows school students to do like a rent versus buy, or a high school, right? So rent versus buy or lease versus whatever comparisons. So I'm planning to connect with Vikram and others on the call next week.
That's great. I know there's a lot of people contacting about school stuff. I encourage us, let's get even more segmented. There's K through 8, high school.
Yeah.
There's teachers, and then there's students. And then there's some people who want to work within the program. We just need to get better stuff for the team. And then people want to work outside the traditional program as augmented stuff here. So it feels like, Java, do you agree? I mean, there's like 6 or 8 subcategories here.
Exactly. And so my plan for those who are somewhat technically minded is to create these, what are these notebooks, right? So collabs where people can play with it. And it makes it very easy to connect to Gemini. So you have a data, you do some analysis on the data, you put the output into Gemini, which is a generative AI, you get back the results, right? And then we build it in a way that it makes it very easy for kids to play with it.
That's fantastic. So folks interested, reach out to Vikram and Javed and others, because it's very exciting here. One of the things I really learned on the education side was one of the MIT conferences. I don't know why I was all fired up, had too much coffee. So every AI person I met, I said, what the hell are you staying here in Boston for? Go to San Francisco. You got to be kidding me. Why are you staying in Boston? And it was really interesting. The ones that were 3 to 4 years out of school, a super common response was, I'm staying here for the schools. I like the schools. They aren't as busy. So I think this notion that if part of our mission, or as part of our mission to attract and retain AI talent, is making sure that the AI talent who's considering moving here or considering staying further, or their spouse is aware of, you know, what the great schools are and which school districts are doing great stuff in AI and how they can get involved, because they know that's a future. And I thought that was yet another little clue when we kind of do the voice of customer stuff that's really important here. Go ahead, Kara.
Thank you. So one of my other hats, so I'm an entrepreneur, but I also run marketing for the Museum of Science, and we do a lot of work with STEM workforce development in the state and in the world, actually, because we have digital curriculum and stuff. But one of the things I'm thinking about, because we look at Boston and Massachusetts as a tourism draw, right? So there's a lot of activity at the state and within private businesses and organizations to push our region for tourism, right? And the tourism numbers are back to better than they were before COVID and all this stuff. So I wonder, as part of this effort, and I know it wouldn't really be us, it would probably be the state, but are we considering, and maybe this is what the task force will recommend, some sort of actual hub and marketing effort around promoting our region as a hub for AI, and talking about things like why you want to live here, like schools and like healthcare and, you know, marriage equality and all those good things that we have in the state. Although that's everywhere now, but you know what I mean.
It's a great care. One of the things we have on the agenda coming up here is to build a 90-second video that we would do ourselves, because the state's moving fast enough, and then maybe we can do it in parallel. But I think that's great. I forget who invited me over to Museum of Science. They hosted me and gave me a great, I haven't been in there forever.
Yeah.
And it's fabulous.
It's
fabulous. Two, they are really pushing in AI and really
very much
see their mission as conveners, which I didn't
Oh,
know.
yeah. And I don't know if anyone saw, we got a very, very, well, we can't say the amount of the gift, but we got an enormous gift from Bloomberg Philanthropies that's going to transform the physical space. And basically what we're promoting ourselves as is we're going to be becoming this new convening center for the community, and it's all around tech. And we also have, I won't go on and on, but I was a chief digital officer interim while we were hiring for our permanent one, and we are doing some really cool stuff. So that would be separate from my described stuff, but anyone on this call interested in particularly K through 12, you would find a very good partner with the museum, and we're connected to lots of revenue and lots of resources and all kinds of good things. So reach out if you'd like. I'll put my LinkedIn in the thing. Thanks.
That'd be great. Thanks, Kara. Yeah, I mean, it's yet another one of the things. If you're thinking about coming to the state or staying in the state, you should be aware of all the fabulous resources for kids that we have in our town here. On the new items, Amanda, you want to share a specific thing you've been working on a little bit? Take
Sure.
4 minutes for that.
Yep, I'll drop it in the chat right now. Hi, I'm Amanda, and actually, Kara and Javid, we're already connected, but I'll also put an email together with the 3 of us plus Vikram, and maybe we can be the education cohort of this, because there's a whole sector of communication before K called early ed, which also AI is playing a part of. So I think we got stuff all here in the works, and I'll put the 4 of us together if that sounds good to everybody. Vikram, if that sounds good to you, I'll add the 4 of us and we can get on board. What I've been doing, and again, Kara, you're just all over today. I dropped it in the chat. So I noticed, I am not an AI engineer. I'm communications, marketing, and connecting specialist. And I noticed we all weren't talking the same way about what AI Blueprint for Massachusetts is. So I spent some time building a really simple but hopefully useful media training doc. It's right in the chat that says for easy recall, but right by AG.
Amanda, you want to show it, display it? You want to display it a few minutes?
Oh, sure.
I think one thing, I think this is so important, because I think it's messaging and alignment and crisp and precision is really important. And I think this is a good way to help us get some alignment.
Yep, this is what happens when you work with marketing people. We have 27 tabs up at once, and then we get asked to share our screen. So let me just put it down and put all the things up so that I can find it. I have it up on my screen ready to share. Okay. So let's do, if I go out of here.
And I appreciate as you pull that up, Amanda is one of the many folks on this call who have picked up a shovel and just started doing stuff. So, this is not a philosophy club. This is a get stuff done. And Amanda, you're really demonstrating that. So thank you.
Thank you. Well, this is where being neurodivergent helps you out. Squirrel. Okay, hold on. I'm almost there. We're in Zoom. And I'm going to. I don't know why this is
While she talks about this, one of the things that I think is important on the communication side is just getting our message down and then the communication channels. One of the things I shared in another meeting was, I think in the iLab over at MIT, it's something like 2,000 students go through the iLab over there each year from the 26 universities. 1,000 of them are international students, have never lived in the United States, and 95% of them think they have to go to Silicon Valley for a startup because that's what they heard before they came to the States. And no one gave them a commercial and told them, here's other alternatives out here. So I think this is a great part of that. But go ahead, Amanda, share what
great. So everyone can see the screen now?
We can, yes.
Yes, okay, great. So what this is all kind of bite-sized bumper stickers that you can go through and peruse and take away some key components on what is AI Blueprint for Massachusetts? What are we focused on? Who are the people behind it? What do we actually do? Kind of the core statement is that, we're trying to make the Bay State the state for AI employment and innovation. Like that's the core message so that you can always drive back to that. I'm open and willing to have comments, feedback. I created a safe version of this that's on my laptop that isn't somewhere else. So feel free, if you mess it up, just let me know. I've got it saved. I go into it every day to see if people make updates and clean up. So, don't be scared to mess around in here. The invitation to mess around is there. Hit on growth opportunities. And then there's some sample challenges and responses. One thing that I thought was really interesting is that I did an interview with, and I'm bringing it up on my phone so I don't say her name wrong, but I think it's pronounced Gabby Zeiderveld, who's the co-founder of Blue Tulip Ventures that has just launched. And I stress tested this and I used these marketing points in talking with her and immediately caught her attention. She asked me to send her all of the AI Blueprint stuff. She asked to be more involved in the group. She gave me her full story that I'm going to add to this. So I've seen it work in my small test of people who know what they're doing in this space, that it connects with them and makes them interested. So all stats in here have been vetted. If you find something's wrong and you find another source that counters what I have here, please just let me know. And I want to make sure everybody's attention, again, practice scenarios, answers of how to answer some of these questions. Why do you think AI talent's moving out? Why do you think founders are moving out? How does Massachusetts compare with Silicon Valley? Those sort of things. At the very end, I've been building stories and testimonials from people in this group about why they're here and why they stayed. So Paul, to your point, schools, 1,000% is the pattern that's coming up again and again and again. So I think how we are taking practical and tactical steps to keep that strong early education, and by early, I mean everything before higher education, so everything before college, how we keep that strong in Massachusetts and live up to that reputation and have people want to stay here is really important. I'm also happy to have as many stories as possible in here. You were talking before, Paul, one of the tactical things I think we could do, if you go in and add your story here or read someone else's story, tell someone else's story on your LinkedIn. Yeah. Just like, I'm in this group. I met Kara. Kara does this. Do you know Kara? If you know me, you should know Kara. Go connect with her. It sounds so simple and practical.
It's fabulous, Amanda. It's just fabulous. Amanda, in terms of addition to the comments, what other asks do you have of the group for help?
More stories. So the way that the stories go here is thank you, everyone who's met with me for this process. I think it will not disservice us to keep adding everybody's little bio to this. And it's not that you have to reference everyone's bio, but for us to have a library to go back to know who the people are in this group and what they do would be helpful. So you can reach out directly to me. I will interview you and do all the writing, or drop everything in here. I will edit it, send it back to you. You can proof it, and we'll just keep on going.
Man, it's just fabulous, fabulous work, fabulous demonstration of stuff here. And I think the other way this potentially could grow into is little 60-second video snippets on different things. So we're going to talk about personas here in a little bit. So you could see coming into persona, or, hey, I'm from Brazil, I'm trying to get here. Here's 5 other people who are international students, or I actually have a special needs kids, and I really valued all the hospitals here, or the all the great assets. So fabulous, fabulous work here. Any other questions for Amanda before we keep moving on the agenda? So great. So thank you, Amanda. Really appreciate that. I think I'm going to be a broken record on that this group is about getting stuff done. I've been in lots of different conversations. I do not want to hear another conversation complaining and moaning about how all the VCs left. I know all that. I was at 128. I don't care about looking at the backs. I'm sick and tired of the defeatist. There's a lot of assets here. There's a tremendous amount of things, basics we need to do. Let's get all those done, and let's be Boston unique. I think this comparison is detrimental to mental health and real opportunity here. So thank you, Amanda, and others jumping right in here. Speaking of personas, I'll just do a quick thing, but at least from a software background, I mean, I think, this has really been a helpful. We got the first version of this done, and all the feedback split up in 2 things. So it's individuals making decisions. So these are students attending schools. Are they interested in AI? They're going to study that. Professionals moving to LA or moving to Massachusetts on an individual level, either for careers for themselves or because their spouse. And then we had another group of people within an organization, what they need help to get the organization to agree. So this is a startup maybe looking for funding. Certainly AI champions and HR recruiters for hiring organizations. It is shocking. That's not shocking. It is notable to me that companies that are really get serious about how hard it is to find talent. We're working with one company in the public traded company in Boston area, WEX, WEX. They have 5 open recs. They just opened the last 2 months for AI talent, and they cannot find it anywhere. So the shortage is not dreams. The shortage is not AI capability. The shortage is people. And we have a lot of good hiring organizations that may not think to even hire. And the other nice thing we've learned from the AI job fair already is that it's both remote and in-person ones. So it's actually it can be a funnel to really help get folks related to that. Certainly investing in out of town. So that's AI thing, but as I think what I want to just keep taking the practical and tactical, thank you for using that term down. So we're talking about specific groups with specific pain points with specific solutions here, because as we all know, that gets a little different when you start getting to segments here. I just put a quick note on, we had the mission to attract and retain. I think one debate, we don't solve it here, is just do we want to actually grow in talent standpoint. It feels like a whole nother really important area. And I think when you helicopter up 3 to 5 years, there's just not enough existing talent here to come even close to meeting the demand out there. So this kind of retraining and growing both from a cross career as well as early on education, I think are 2 important vectors that we should continue to debate and grow. My mini surprise is, people can see my screen. So people may have seen Yvonne Howe is just fabulous. One of the things she's been doing since the beginning is having a wristband that says Team MA. And I was all excited about it. I said, God, we should have those. And I sent her a message. Oh, of course, Paul. She sends me like 10 or 15 of them. And then I realized they're like 8 cents. So we should have some of them. So I went and ordered, I went nuts. Actually, I think I got 100 of them. And so I've got 100 that say both Team MA on it and also Boston Unique. So Jenny, are you on the line? Well, if you'd like,
I'm on the line.
If you are, Jenny, do you have a Google form? I can't remember. If people want to have one mailed to them, what should they do?
So I have all of your emails, I believe. I'm going to create an Airtable form, and then I'm going to send this to you. If you want one of these bracelets. Just go ahead and put your information and we can go ahead and ship it out to you.
That's fab. Yeah. So it's no cost. We'll ship it out to you, but it's really, I think, a small thing. I think it's directly helps us connect with Yvonne and Ian and Rory and the Governor Healy to show them. It's a nice way to show connection here. It's not commercial. And I think it's reinforces, Governor Healy's notion that we're Team MA. And I think if we can add that Boston unique, that we can focus on what makes us unique and realize this is not a zero-sum game. There's tremendous opportunities for all the regions here. We just need to take what we do well and advertise it and work better as a team. Yeah, go ahead, Kara.
I'm sorry to keep interrupting, but this is getting into my world of marketing stuff, so I love it. And Amanda probably is thinking the same thing. But if we have these wristbands and they're cheap and it's a way to start, showing our efforts, we could give them away. We could have people, I was at the Startup Boston event last night, I think Stephanie's here, and they walk around with their t-shirts on, so it's very, they volunteers, so it's very branded, what's going on. I mean, potentially we could have volunteers from this group go to different events. Startup Boston's next one is on the 18th, and maybe hand out these wristbands or something like that. Just get people to know about us. I tell everyone I can about the group. Like last night I was telling everybody, and like come and get involved. So potentially, if you have AI people in a room, may as well talk to them, right?
Kara, it's actually, I'm sitting here at MIT sale. There's 600 people downstairs at John Warner's.
Yeah.
So I've got about 150 of these things and we pass
Yeah.
them. We also have
Beautiful.
a banner. So it's no shortage of ideas. It's no shortage of things to do. It's a shortage of people picking up a shovel and leading a small team here. So if people are interested in that, raise your hand, put together a mini team. Don't kill yourself, but 3-4 hours a week and get a partner or two. We know in volunteer stuff, the 50% of the thing never gets done when it's a single volunteer, but when you have 2 to 3 and something that's not boiling the ocean, you have a much better chance for that. My goal in life is to end every meeting 5 minutes early. So we actually have a chance today. The last thing is that I want to, we need a 90-second or maybe a couple of them videos on what we do here. Now, most people know the hard part's not creating the video these days. It's actually getting the storyline out. And that's one of the things I've really encouraged us, that I think getting the personas, getting alignment on the personas, maybe it's the top 4 or 5 personas, and the number one pain point and what we do unique for those, and then weaving that into something that's, powerful would be really good. I know Joseph did a quick one, and Joseph, I want you to show yours. I think the other thing that I'm realizing as well is that we need to think through distribution of this. So, Kara and Amanda, you guys are experts on this. So if this is a good video, and we want the state and schools to use it, what does it have to be in it? Does it have to be from a nonprofit, or does it have to say certain things? Because we want to get this out a little bit like the bands. And, I guess we can go too far. We've had 3 or 4 organizations offer to fund part of it, but they want their commercial logo on it. And I don't think that's the right approach. We've got 6 or 8 other
Depends organizations. which nonprofit it is. So some of those logos, like if it's GBH or Museum of Science and they want to fund it, yep, we could do good
Yes,
work there.
yeah, maybe that's, so maybe it's Museum of Science and Mass TLC and the tourism and whatever, I don't know, whatever that is. But I think we want to get them, I think we can help with the message. And I think there's other people in this call that can help with the message refinement form factor. So this is actually something you'd actually want to get out. And if it's wide enough, you could see parents and schools and everything else. And if it actually leads to a website to actually have resources that these sub persona groups can actually go to, Java, we might actually have something more than a commercial. Actually might be a commercial that leads to information sharing, that actually leads to people getting a problem solved. Joseph, you want to share the little
Yeah, sure.
version you put together here?
Can I share my screen?
Yeah, and I think you've got to do the sound, whatever the secret sound button on Zoom is to hear the video.
Yeah. Oh, no, hold on.
And Amanda, while we're waiting, maybe it's a whole series. Maybe we find it's a whole series of, 30-second personas. I stayed in Boston because of this. I love Boston because of this. It's a
Not
whole,
even 30, it's like 10 seconds.
10 seconds, yeah.
Because we could make, what I saw from doing these interviews is we could have 10 seconds of 30 different people saying, I stayed in Boston for the schools. I stayed in Boston for my kids. I stayed in Boston for the schools. I stayed in Boston for the teachers. And then you have it be about the schools that are here and why the schools matter. But we could have 50 people saying schools and kids.
Fabulous, fabulous. Go ahead, Joseph.
It's a 2-minute video. Should I play the whole thing or let me start? Let me
Please, yeah, we've got 2 minutes and we can still end early.
Welcome to Massachusetts, where the world comes to learn artificial intelligence and apply it to the biggest problem.
Quotes, Massachusetts has the opportunity to be a global leader in applied AI, but it's going to take us bringing together the brightest minds in tech, business, education, healthcare, and government. That's exactly what this task force will do.
Home to world-class artificial intelligence research institutions such as MIT CSAIL, MIT Media Lab, and MIT RAISE, the Digital Data Design Institute at Harvard, the Institute for Experiential AI at Northeastern University, and many more AI labs at UMass Boston, Boston University, and the University of Massachusetts.
And the reason I talk about Team Massachusetts is because when we work together with all of you, all of our talented people in our ecosystem, across our academia, across our large companies, our startups, our venture firms, our nonprofits, our state and local government, when we work together as a team, we are unstoppable. And when we work together as a team, we lead. And we've led for a long time.
Massachusetts is a leader in AI research and education. With government support, Massachusetts creates pathways for all stakeholders who want to participate in the AI economy.
We lead because we believe in big missions. JFK said it the best. We don't do things because they're easy, we do them because they're hard. We care about solving big problems around curing disease.
The Massachusetts Artificial Intelligence Ecosystem Map visualizes pathways for every stakeholder to participate in the AI economy as a student, researcher, faculty, entrepreneur, builder, scientist, executive, investor, platform company, career switcher, regulator, and innovator.
Big problems around curing disease, helping each other and taking care of each other, educating each other, fighting climate change, using technology for good.
With all these AI pathways for stakeholders, Massachusetts will lead globally to bring to reality the governor's vision for us to be a global leader in applied AI.
So now is not the time to stop. We need Massachusetts now more than ever to continue to lead for many future generations.
Join the Massachusetts Artificial Intelligence Ecosystem dedicated to learning about AI and applying it to solve the world's most pressing problems.
So it's a really ugly baby version. And it will be great for, people to contribute. And Paul's feedback was a video that's can be broadly circulated and anyone would be able to share, whether you're a university, a high school, or entrepreneur to promote the ecosystem. So happy to work with others that want to improve the video. Oh, you're on mute, Paul.
Sorry, Joseph, great work. You're doing a fabulous thing with your little graphic that you keep pulling together, improving. You picked up a shovel, done a beta version of a video. So fantastic modeling of picking up a shovel. So we'll go ahead and wrap up. Fabulous. We're growing. This is our third meeting, maybe, or fourth. We're 30, 50 people. There's about 500 to 600 people on the email list now. And that continues to grow. The genuine enthusiasm here is wonderful. And I think we've got some real opportunities to make a difference. And I think we just keep doing one step at a time. And 12 months from now, 12 meetings from now, we can have a Boston ecosystem looks completely different. We already have people looking at what we're doing. I'm flying in Cincinnati next week. They have AI Cincinnati week here. They're trying to start AI blueprint for Cincinnati or for Ohio in their region. They're really inspired on what we're doing here. And we've got other people as well. So thank you for all your work and contributions. Let's keep the ball going. Send Jenny information if you want to get one of these little plastic things. And fabulous, everyone. Thank you.
Paul, can you add Vikram? Can you send Vikram invite for the Slack? He was.
For Vikram, yes, I'll send it to him.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.